expressions. It's kind of like an introduction topic to the algebra. It's not really hard, and again, I think a lot of you are going to be familiar with it, at least some parts of it. I'm pretty sure you studied it before, maybe year 5 or year 7 topics. It's basically about how to use the letters, but in a really basic way, the letters in the mathematics. So let's get into that. We're gonna start with number 1. So we will do the same format as last lesson. I will do the exercises, and on the way during those exercises, I will try to explain to you how this works, kind of. I hope you will understand. Again, they're pretty fast. I will try to do it more or less fast. All right, we already have 10 pages. 10 pages of notes already. That's a lot, kind of. Last time we talked about order of operations and negative numbers, rounding, all kinds of really interesting number stuff. And now we talk about really interesting letter stuff. No more numbers, give us letters. So simplify. How do we simplify this? So I like to think about it as if we would have some kind of object. So let's say let's say B. B is going to be for banana, and A is going to be for an apple, right? In example 1, we have B and A, or actually in all of them, A, B, C is all about B and A, right? So let's say we have a banana, then we get another one, which means we have 2 bananas, and then someone takes away an apple from us. We don't even have an apple yet, but someone just takes it away, and then someone gives us an apple. Guess they changed their minds, and then we get another banana. So let's kind of try to count this. So again, the bananas is pretty simple, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 bananas. So we just write 3B. 3B. With apples, a little bit more complicated. So again, someone takes an apple, and then someone gives it back, which is a bit strange because we didn't have an apple. So we can think about it as if, let's say we owe an apple to someone, right? Someone tells us, okay, now all of a sudden you owe an apple to this person, which this means minus A. So it's a negative A. And then you have plus A. So minus A plus A. Someone takes an apple, someone gives an apple. So that kind of brings us to the 0. I hope it makes sense to you. It kind of brings us to the 0. Minus A plus A. It's like you owe an apple, and then someone gives you an apple, but again, you owe that apple. So you have to give it back. You have to give back what you owe to someone. So that means you have, it means you have 0 apples in the end. So the answer is just 3B. We can write, we can kind of try to write 3B plus 0A, but this is not necessary. We can just write 3B as well. This is going to be more of a proper way to write it, I would say. You can also treat it like this. You can treat it like this. So this is 1 banana, right? We don't say, give me 1. You just go to your mom and you say, give me a banana. You don't tell her, give me 1 banana. If you say, give me a banana, she would understand that you want 1, not 10 of them, right? So we can say that this is 1, 1, minus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So important thing here is just try not to confuse them. Like bananas and apples, they do not stack together, right? Banana plus apple is still banana and apple. It's not gonna give you a mutant of banana and apple. Ew, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so that's it. Let's go to B. In B we have, again, 3 apples minus 2 bananas plus 4 apples plus 6 bananas. So the way I like to do this is I like to underline. Let's say for apples we will have 1 underline, and for bananas we will have 2 underlines. Okay, so we have 3 apples plus 4 apples, which gives us 7 apples in total, 7a. And then we have minus 2 bananas plus 6 bananas, which gives us, again, you can think about the number line a little bit. Remember the last topic, number line. So you go from minus 2, you go plus 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? This is going to bring you to actually to 4, right? So minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 4. Again, don't forget the number line. So 7a, 7 apples plus 4 bananas. And in C, so this is interesting, okay? We have numbers, 6 apples times 12 bananas. So you can think about it, like this. It's as if you have a kind of a area. You have a kind of an area from apples. There are 6 of them, like this. And then you have 12 bananas coming at you like this, okay? So in this case, if you multiply, they're actually going to mix together apples and bananas, and you're actually gonna get your crazy mutant apple banana thing. Yeah, oh well, I shouldn't have done that. B, and I don't know, let's just copy this. Wonders of technology, and just copy it. Don't have to write all of it. You can just, yeah, can do that. And so what happens is like 6 apples times 12 bananas, they give you, so you have to do 6 times 12 first. First you do numbers times numbers. First you do numbers times numbers, 6 times 12. 6 times 12 is equal to 72. So you write 72. And then you write apple bananas, 72a times b. Normally, okay, so normally what we should write is we should write this 72 times a times b, like this. But for the sake of making it shorter, for the sake of saving the space, we write 72ab for this, 72ab. All right, so this is simplifying for you. Let's get to the next one. Next, we have how many minutes in 3 hours. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good topic. I like it. Number 2. That's a good topic. How many minutes in 3 hours? Well, that's obvious, right? 3 hours, they have 1 hour has 60 minutes, then 3 hours. Actually, let's write it. Let's write it like this. I'm going to try and give you the analogy. 1 hour has 60 minutes in it. It means that 3 hours, and here you have to think. So some of you may do this automatically because this is an easy thing. You just do 3 times 60, or you do 60 plus 60 plus 60. But just think about it. Like, how do you get this number? 180 minutes. So 3 hours, they have 180 minutes in them. But just think about it. How do you get this number, 180? And you get it by doing 3 times 60, right? You do 3 times 60. 3 times 60 minutes is equal to 180 minutes. And so 1 hour, we could say it's 1 times 60. What you should try to see from here is the chain. You should try to see some kind of similarities between finding how many minutes are in hours. Kind of find the formula, because that brings us to B, that brings us to letter B, which tells us X hours is how many minutes, right? How many minutes is in X hours? So, okay, we can do a couple more analogies, right? We can think about it. I will give you some more analogies. Okay, so let's say 5 hours. 5 hours is equal to 5 times 60 minutes. right? I'm not going to write the answer. It's whatever. It's 300. 300 minutes. 10 hours. 10 hours. So I will do a lot of them for now. 10 hours is 10 times 60 is 600 minutes, right? If we do 20 hours, what we have to do is we have to do 20 times 60. So by now, I think you should be getting it by now, that X hours is just going to repeat the pattern. You're just going to repeat the pattern. So what we do every time is we do times 60. Whatever we have, we just times it by 60, times by 60, times by 60, right? So X hours is going to be equal to X times 60 minutes. Or to write it properly, we would have to write it like this. Properly, we have to write numbers in the front of letters. So 60 goes in the front of X. So we write 60 times X, like this. And then we can write 60X. 60X, because again, we are saving space. 60X. You can think about it, for example, if you have 3 bananas, it's like 3 times banana, which is, anyway, it's 3 bananas, right? It's banana 3 times. You can kind of think about it like this. Okay, so anyway, 60X minutes. 60X minutes, X hours have 60X minutes in them. This is an answer to this question B. And I think, so they ask us for 1 day, right? Okay, let's find it. Let's find how many minutes is in 1 day. Sorry, so 1 day has 24 hours, right? Which is 60 times 24 minutes. 60 times 24 is equal to, what's it gonna be? 1,440, I think. Yeah, 1,440. If I'm wrong, you can, I don't know, you can write in YouTube comments, because sometimes I'm wrong in these calculations. 1,440, I hope I'm not. Anyways, next topic. Why days? Okay, so it's getting complicated. And I think we have to copy this image again. How many minutes is in Y days? So here we have to think like this. So, all right, you remember, right, that 1 day has 24 times 60 is equal to 1,440 minutes. Let's think, before we get to Y days, let's try to establish the pattern. Let's try to figure out the pattern. So for this, we have to do some more day exercises. Let's do 2 days, for example. Let's do 2 days. So 2 days is just like 1 day, only 2 times longer, right? So we do 2 times 24 times 60, which is going to be equal to 2,880 minutes, right? Notice the difference, right? So here we can kind of add here. So it's 1 times this, 2 times this, 3 days is going to be 3 times this, right? 3 times 24 times 60, which is equal to, what's it going to be? Not 3,000, it's going to be 4,320, I think. 4,320 it should be. 4,320 minutes. And what does it mean? It means that if we go to Y days, again, we try to see what's common between them, right? This is 1 day. So the only thing that is changing is the amount of days, right? The rest, what we do is the same. We do it times 24 times 60 times 24 times 60 times 24 times 60. So if we have Y days, it's going to be Y times 24 times 60. which is 1440 times y. I'm sorry, I'm changing it already again. Numbers come before letters. This is just the way we write it in algebra. And that is equal to 1440 y. This should be your answer. 1440 y. What? Crocodiles? No, 1440 y minutes. Don't forget to write the unit just in case. Next one is we have 2 days x hours. Okay, it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting, you know. I wish we had more time on this lesson, but I will try to do it faster. We have 2 days x hours. 2 days x hours. So 2 days is pretty obvious. Okay, actually, this is actually really interesting because what we have to do is we have to convert them separately. So this is the part which is a number. It's a plain old number, and this is the part which is a letter. So which is exactly what we have to convert. So 2 days, if you remember, so 2 days x hours is we can kind of express this as 2 days plus x hours, right? We can say that 2 days plus x hours. And then we know that 2 days are equal to, and we already have this here, so 2 days are equal to 2,880 minutes, right? So we go 2,880 minutes plus an x hours. So again, we can go back. X hours is equal to 60x minutes, right? X hours equals to 60x, and this is actually my mistake. I didn't write minutes in here because I couldn't fit it, but it should be there. It's necessary. 60x minutes. So okay, 2,880 minutes plus 60x minutes. We have to convert it. Yeah, how many minutes? Yeah, we have to convert everything to minutes. Sorry, I'm getting lost sometimes. Y days, x hours. Okay, let's go to G. Kind of a complicated. Actually, it's not complicated at all because we already have it. Y days, x hours. Y days, x hours is the same as y days plus x hours, which is the same as, and we have both answers already here in the exercise. Y days equals to this much minutes, and x hours is equals to this much minutes, right? So we just go 1,440 y plus 60x. 1,440 y plus 60x. Okay, so this one is a little bit more difficult. So we can take a look at this. Please take a look at this exercise. Maybe you can try to finish F by yourself because I haven't done F. So you can kind of treat it as a homework if you have some free time, if you're down for a challenge. So please try to do F. You can do this part. Just pause the video, make a screenshot, or just take your notebook and just do it. Well, up to you. Anyways, okay, let's get to next exercise. And what do we have next? I think we're gonna skip number 3 because it's also about letters. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to do number 4. Yeah, why not? Let's do the number 4. Write down the perimeter of these shapes. I'm always kind of torn, you know. There's always 2 options. It's either you kind of write here, or you make it smaller and you write everything on the side. I'm always struggling between those 2 options. So in this case, it's like I chose the middle. Anyways, so the perimeter of these shapes. You have 7x, and this is obviously a rectangle, right? If you look at A, this is obviously a rectangle. 7x, this is also x, this is also 7. And you know the way we find the perimeter is we just add both sides, right? So again, this is 7 as well, and this is x. So we do 7 plus x plus 7 plus x. I kind of went clockwise, right? 7 plus x plus 7 plus x. We could group it differently, and I think I will later. So 7 plus x plus 7 plus x is equal to 7 plus 7. So again, we have to group numbers with numbers, letters with letters. They do not work well together, at least in addition and subtraction. They kind of work together in multiplication, but addition, no. No, they work separately, okay? Numbers with numbers, letters with letters. So we go 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, again, I'm going to underline them. So 7 and 7. This is numbers, and this is letters, okay? So 7 plus 7, 14. X plus x is 2x. So again, just like 2 apples, all right? Because a lot of people, they make mistakes on this stage in algebra. So please try to remember this is important. This part of the study is important. Because some people who skip this part, what they do is if they have a question like this, 2x minus x, they answer 2. Which, I mean, there is some logic behind that, but not in the normal math terms. That's what I'm trying to say. So please try to figure out this topic. If you have some problems with it, maybe spend some extra time. Okay, so let's go to B. So B, we have y plus 1, y. Again, obviously, this is a rectangle. So we will have here as well as y plus 1. And this is as well going to be y. And then what we do is we do y plus, I'm going to write, so this time I'm going to write each side in the brackets so as not to confuse you. Y plus 1, like this, plus y plus 1. I know we don't really need these brackets, but it's a good practice because sometimes you have a minus. Sometimes you have, if you have y minus y plus 1, like it's going to change something. So it's a good practice to use brackets for expressions like y plus 1. It's a good thing to do. You don't always need it, but when you do, it's good to have. So we go y plus 1 plus y plus y plus 1 equals to, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 y, so equals to 4y, and we have 2, 1, so 4y plus 2 is the answer. And last one, we have trapezoid or trapezium, depends on British or American pronunciation. Okay, w plus w minus 5. They already have, so here conveniently they have all the sides already measured for us. You don't have to guess anything if it's rectangle or not. W minus 5 plus, we go 2p minus 4. Oh, that's interesting because here they already have 2 letters. You see, they try to make it more difficult for you. 2p plus 4, and then we go plus 3p equals to, and here we can start opening the brackets, w plus w minus 5 plus 2p plus 4 plus 3p. I don't know, should I write it here? Yeah, I can write it here. So we have 2w, and look at this. We have 2p and we have 3p. They're both positive. And we have some numbers as well. We have negative 5 and we have positive 4. Right, so we go w plus w is 2w, 2p plus 3p is 5p, and minus 5 plus 4, again, remember the negative numbers lesson, minus 5 plus 4 is equal to negative 1. So 2w plus 5p minus negative 1 should be your answer. So there were some interruptions in the stream, but now we're back. And let's get into that. We have finished with number 4. So now let's go straight to the number 6. I think that's gotta be a good idea. Number 6. Oops. Okay, so the bus fare from the coast to the city is $9 for adults and $5 for children. What is the bus fare for 3 adults and 2 children? That's pretty easy, right? And then what is the bus fare for D adults and C children? So again, we kind of have to draw the parallels between, we have to figure out the pattern about how it works, this kind of formula. And let's do it. So let's do A first. A, an easy part. $9 for adults and $5 for children. So 3 adults and 2 children. So 3 times 9 plus 2 times 5. It's pretty easy to find, right? It's 27 plus 10 equals to 37. But then we have to think. Then we actually have to think, what is a bus fare for D adults and C children? So now instead of 3, we are going to have D adults, and instead of 2, we're going to have C children. So instead of 3 times 9, we have D times 9, and instead of 2 times 5, we have C times 5. Right, D times 9 plus C times 5. Of course, it's not going to be equal to 37. This part is also not the same. So D times 9 plus C times 5. This can already be an answer, but again, let's write it according to algebra rules. It's going to be 9D plus 5C. Like this, 9D plus 5C. And can we find how much is it? No, we can't. It can be anything depending on how much is D and how much is C. That's the thing about letters. They are kind of generalizing. So we can't know what is it for sure. All right, and let's do some more because the time is ticking. Let's do this, 8. It's kind of a challenging question. At least that's what the book says. I think the challenging questions, they have this special blue rectangle to mark the challenging questions, you see. Okay, so let's do it. Write expression for a green shaded area. I don't think we need a lot of space to do this. So what happens is we have 2 rectangles, one inside of another, and this area, the area of this rectangle, is something we actually don't need. The white area is something we don't need. So we can say that area shaded, we can write it like this, area shaded, or no, let's just write it normally. I'm just trying to. So shaded area equals to, and it's going to be equal to, let's give them names. Let's say that this is number 1 and this is number 2 rectangle. So the small one is number 1. The big one is number 1 and the small one is number 2. So, and then the shaded area is going to be equal. So what we have to do is we have this big rectangle, right? And inside of it, we have a smaller one. And we have to do what? We have to make a cut in this big rectangle. And this cut has to be the size of a smaller rectangle like this. I hope it makes sense to you. All right, so let's do it. So shaded area, which is this area, is equal to this big area minus this small area. This is the way to find it. We have to cut out the small area out of big area. And remember, we gave names to rectangles. So first one is a big one. So area 1 is area of big rectangle, and area 2 is area of small rectangle, A1 and A2. Yeah, so but what we have to do, we don't even know actually A1, we don't even know A2. So let's find them, right? That's gonna help. So A1 is equal to, and we all know the formula for the area of rectangle. It's A times B, whatever side you have, times the other side, the height times the width of rectangle. Height times width is normally what they say. So in this case, area 1, the height is 6, right? And the width is 3x plus 5, as you can see here. Right, so area 1 is equal to height 6 times width, which is 3x plus 5. Oh, I see why they call it challenging, because maybe you haven't learned expanding of brackets yet. So the way to expand the brackets is we have to multiply each item in the brackets by the item before the bracket. So 6 times 3x, and then we do 6 times 5. And then it's equal to, yeah, we don't have a lot of space, so I'm just gonna write it here. So 18x plus 30, right? And then we find area 2. Area 2 is equal to 4 times 2x plus 3. So we do 4 times 2x, and then 4 times 3, 8x plus 12. So we found both of them. So area 1 is 18x plus 30. Oh my goodness, I should have gone to new page. Now we don't have enough space. I'll try to figure it out. 18x plus 30 minus 8x. Oh, and this is where you need brackets. Remember I told you, use the brackets in these cases. So 18x plus 30 minus 8x plus 12. This is the shaded area. And let's continue it here. I'm gonna erase this so that we have a little bit more space. So we can, this is 2 and this is 1. So shaded area is equal to, again, 18x plus 30 minus 8x plus 12 equals 2. So look at this, because we have minus before the brackets, everything in these brackets is going to change the sign. So plus becomes minus, and here also plus becomes minus. So both of these numbers, they were positive, they will become negative. So we have 18x plus 30 minus 8x minus 12, and the answer is 10. X plus 18. This is the shaded area. This is your answer to this question. I'm gonna use the marker. All right, I think that's it for today's lesson. See you guys next time.